Hello everybody, welcome back to a slightly different Lord of the Rings online video. Today, as you can see, we are in the character creation sort of area. I have 0 out of 11 characters. This is obviously my account. It is a VIP account, so I've not just made a randomly new account. We are in fact on Bullroarer, which is the kind of beta server sort of thing for upcoming things. So this, for example, will have Mordor in it, and it also has the High Elves, and I'm not sure if it has yet the Avatar sort of redo. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, from what I know. But yeah, normally I don't do these sort of things. I kind of let that to the people who know a little bit more and can kind of explain things better, because I'm not the greatest at this game, admittedly. If you guys do want to see more Bullroarer stuff, then please, if you enjoy this, do say so. I am willing to do more of this if the time comes and people want to see it. But I feel like some people might be able to do a better job than me. So it depends on what you want to see. But yeah, I am excited for one specific part of this. Less so Mordor, actually, which I'm obviously excited for. But more excited, I think, for the High Elves at the moment. Because it's been out for a little while. There were a few problems I've had, like actually downloading Bullroarer. It wouldn't work when I tried to download it. So I gave it a day. And now it's finally working, and I'm going to make a video, because that's obviously what you're watching now. So yeah, I am excited for the High Elves. I want to have a look at the High Elves. So if we go into here, you'll see we have High Elves, and yeah, I was having a look at these just before. But yeah, we have High Elves here now, and we have, you know, they can come any of these, and they've also made it, yeah, so these guys can be champions and captains. I'm pretty sure Elves used to not be able to be champions, but now they can, but they can't be captains. These guys can, though. But what I'm going to do, I think, is I want to just ever so quickly go and have a look at the introduction of this, because we have, you know, obviously a new class and a new introduction area to go with it. I have quickly looked at this movie over here. It is exactly the same as the elf one from what I can see. There is no real difference, so I'm not really going to have to bother with that. Even the icon is actually the same there. But again, this is, I think, early days. I don't think it's anywhere near finished entirely. So yeah, we'll go as this. I'm going to go as a hunter because I am most comfortable with the hunter, to be perfectly honest. And if I have to, you know, be going through a beginning part, I'd rather be a character I'm most, you know, intimately knowledgeable with. It would be either that, I think, or minstrel, and I just want to be a hunter because I think I'll be kind of cool. I think this guy looks quite cool as a hunter. I know elves look exactly the same sort of clothes-wise, but he just looks really cool in this situation. So I'm going to go as him. I'm actually going to name him Tarvelard. His hair just changed color, which is weird. But we have all these, so let's go quickly through these. I think all these are the same, it's just the lore. In elder days you dwelt in the fair elf lands of Beleriand, now broken and lost forever beneath the sea. Driven from your home by death and war, you came to the hidden vale of Imladris, where you have long dwelt under Elrond's protection. You spent your younger days in the cavern fortress of Nargothrond, the hall of Finrod Felagund, whose beauty was lost in the wars of old. The memory of the White Towers of Gondolir, hidden city of the High Elves, still burns within you, though it fell to treachery long ago, and your home of Osiriand survived the fall of Beleriand to become Gilgalad's realm of Lindon, now grown empty as the elves depart for Valinor. So yeah, we have all that. I'm going to just go as this one up here. We have a few settings up here, so let's just have a quick look at the head changes. So there's 8 options for that. So I'll just quickly go through all those. Actually, that one had a little... That one's got a little bit of an issue there, so that might need to get sorted out right there. I might go say something about that. Yeah, well, at least it's on video, so we can see that. That's a good thing. Video, we can see all these different things, see if there's any weird issues. I think all the other ones should probably be fine. That just looks like it was maybe an oversight. So I'm going to go back to the first one. Just going to go with what's default, I think. But for now, let's actually zoom slightly into the hair and not too far out there. So we have 8 different options of hair as well. I don't know if it's just like something about this hair, but it looks a lot better than, I guess, the hair I remember. I don't know. I have slightly bumped up the settings, but I might have to bump them down. From what I've seen, there might be it might be like an instancy thing, and it might be laggy. I'm guessing it is. So yeah, we'll just work on that when we get to it. But yeah, let's eyes. Let's have a look at, see if there's any issues with eyes clipping. Oh, it's not actually the eyes, it's just the sort of area around the eyes. Fair enough. Eyebrows. Can't think any issues would arise with eyebrows. Mouth, similar thing there. I think that there's probably no problems. I think that's going to be the only one. Details, I don't know what this would be. Oh, I guess you get a nice thing up there, and you get another one apparently, and either that or nothing. Fair play. Eye colors, you can change those if you want. Let's just go with blue eyes. Really dark blue eyes. No, let's go some light blue eyes. You can't really see that too well. It looks very grey, but they're blue, I swear. They're quite dark blue actually now. Skin color, hair color. We can change that obviously to be a bit fairer or whatever we want to do. I'm just going to go with the sort of darker black hair. There you go. That's working. And then body type, you can change that. You can either have him super sort of skinny or not so super bulky. His head really, it just feels weird seeing that change and his head not. So I'm just going to go back to like middle-ish where it was and be alright with that. So I like the looks of these guys so far. They look pretty cool. So I'm going to create this character. He's going to be ready. Let's go on there. I'm actually going to bump the settings down because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be playing well. So yeah, at least we got to have a look at this guy. Pretty nice settings in the menus, but I am going to bump it down a little bit just before. Okay, so we just quickly came into here, and a lot has already happened straight off the bat, and we are in sort of, it feels very laggy, so I'm apologizing for that beforehand. So we have all this stuff up here. We will quickly get rid of that soon. We have apparently a load of stuff up here. So we got War Steed appearances, plain black saddle, simple tail, and solid War Steed. We have this in the, Into Darkness Falls a Star. In the year 3434 of the Second Age, a great alliance of elves and men assembled in defiance of the Dark Lord's will to conquer all the lands of Middle-earth. The High Elves, the blessed of Valinor, who suffered the greatest wraths of Sauron, and Morgoth, the enemy, now seek to ensure that his evil is forever banished from the world. So we just got a bunch of stuff. Most Curious Hobbit and the Anniversary Scavenger Hunt has just been completed, apparently. Used a lot of stuff. Scaled to 110, you can see we have 35k health, apparently, and 20,000 power. Scaling up our equipment, we'll have a look at that quickly. Our virtues, we can also have a look at that to at least level 14. Or rank 14, and we got Guard of Eisen and Friend of the Mark because of the expansions I own, and then I just quickly left the chats because otherwise you're going to have a lot of people talking and you're going to not be able to see what's being said. So let's quickly just, I need to sort that out, wait a minute. Let's go to hints and take those off. Alright, there we go. I think I'll be better. Right, so yeah, we also have titles awarded, that's fine. So yeah, just quickly come into here, we have some armor, which have been scaled. The armor isn't actually doing much scaling wise, it's just giving us 7 armor still, so 21 armor in total. What about our weapons? Okay, our weapons have scaled, 101 to 184 common damage, and 92 to 154 common damage. So yeah, I'm not sure if those are supposed to scale. I would assume so, but I guess maybe those will get something new very quick maybe, and it will just, that's just being disregarded because of that. Virtues though, let's have a quick look at virtues. So that should be J or L. No, J we actually can't do. I just realized because we are, I guess, not novice yet, because if when we do all this and drag all our bags in, I'm guessing because we're in an introduction instancy sort of thing, it will not also let us have the riding trait, I'm assuming, because you have to be novice to do that. So you actually can't do that in any of the introductions. So let's have a quick look. So we can do this, which is apprentice riding, and then this will be journeyman riding and smell of roses, which we'll get rid of quickly. But this here, it says we require novice. We haven't got that yet, which means we can't have these other 2 steeds. Can we equip another weapon though? Which has scaled on... Okay, that's a point. Maybe if we take these off quickly. If we put those on, do they scale properly? No, they don't. Okay. Either way. We also have Hobbit gifts. I'm not going to use those for obvious reasons. There's also a thing. Oh, this is like a thing to bypass the introduction. I'm not going to do that, actually. We're going to go over straight and do the introduction. I think that's fitting. So, yeah, if we wanted to, we could get novice and steeds and stuff like that, and I think that puts you to 115, probably, or 105 at least. We'll actually check that out later. Maybe we'll make another character. But for now, let's get on with this. Just go through the entire introduction. It's a little bit laggy, as I said, so, yeah, I did throw the settings down a little bit, but we'll have to see how it goes. So, right. Tarvelard, you seemed as if lost in a trance, and I couldn't rouse you until this very moment. My dearest friend, do not allow the enemy to cloud your thoughts with visions of defeat. As Sauron surely knows, the mastery is ours in this battle. Alas, a cornered foe is the most deadly, and there are none more treacherous than the enemy in this realm. We must put our troubles behind us for the moment and press our advantage. Attend the High King's address to the Alliance. High King Gilgalad, I can say things, definitely, has summoned us. Let's go. Right. He looks like he's over here. Let's go have a look. I'm going to F12, and we'll see what this is saying. Maybe we gotta go closer. That would fit. We've called upon the enemies, the armies, and people we could, but it still may not be enough. Let's quickly drag this around. King Riok the Oathbreaker and his treacherous kin have fled into the mountains. And Durin has sent only a few hundred of his folk. Hearken to me, elves and men, the time for debate is ended. Sauron sows the only division among those who would oppose him, and see now what it has done. The kings of Lorien and the Woodland Realm pressed their forces into certain defeat, and why? They allowed their pride to blind them to the enemy's treachery. Sauron is swift to twist the pride and fears of his foes into weapon of his own. The men of Numenor that remain in this realm know his treachery all too well. Indeed, the fates of Numenor and Eregion are tragic, but Sauron's wrath has grown only more terrible since those dark years. If we fall to defeat in this battle, there will never again be a force to oppose him. The Dark Lord gathers strength anew beyond the Black Gate. We must throw down the Moranan. Only then shall Sauron himself be forced to atone for the evil he has laid upon our peoples. We must put an end to his evil before a distant horn blows as the scout rushes down from the nearby hillside. Is he over there? That was a hillside. There he is. High King, riders approach from beyond the Moranan. It is a meager assemblage, only 9 in number. Might the enemy seek to parley at last? 9 is not a good number. Sauron does not wield his servants as ambassadors. Allow them to ride forth unhindered, but remain on guard. We shall meet them in the field. At last, the bearers of the 9 rings reveal themselves, as I thought. The Shadow Kings of the Gretharian. Yep, they have returned out the darkness. Will you let us follow? There we go. Come on, let's go. Let's go meet these 9. Let's bring back up F12. Actually, no. Let's do this. Sounds a battle, but no one fighting. They approach. The Witch-king. The Cursed Rider. The Grim... I can't read all of them. I'm sure we'll see them all. The Bane of Run. The Grim Southron. The Forsaken Reaver. The Woe of Khand. Blackbait of Lebanon. Been against him before. The Gloom of Nirn. The High Sorcerer of Harad. I think that was all of them. The Woe... Yeah, I think I said the Woe of Khand. Ah, the Elf King and the Accursed Faithful. My master has bidden me to deliver his terms. Terms? We have assembled so great an alliance that your master now seeks to surrender? Ooh, I'm running ahead, I don't mean to. Sauron the Great speaks not of his surrender, but of yours. Speak then, servant of Sauron. I am no mere servant. You speak to the King of Men and the Lord of the Nazgul. Nazgul, do you no longer speak in your own tongue? You are no king. The ring you bear has seen to that. Silence, elf wretch. These are his terms. Celebrimbor crafted 3 rings in the mockery of his design. You will surrender them and swear oaths to never again come before the gates of Mordor. You would be wise indeed to accept his kindness. And if we should accept, what promise can he give that he shall not again make a war against us? He offers none. Peace cannot be made with Sauron. Such an offer is merely another one of his lies. Go now, flee to your master and tell him that his doom approaches. So be it. Sauron the Great has stayed my hand for the moment, but his patience is nearly ended. It is you and this pitiful host who should flee. For soon, no shelter, no matter how well hidden, shall be free from Sauron's dominion. Dagorlad, let us speak. Right, let us go to the other sea. Dagorlad, before the 9 arrived, I sent forth the spears of Lindon with the garrison of elves and men. With Sauron's demands rejected, we can no longer hold hope that the Gwytherian shall stay their hands in this battle. You know the spears as Theleron, Megoril, and Dernith, my friend. And they stood by my side through many great battles against Sauron and the most terrible of his servants. Ere they departed, they swore to cross the enemy's trenches and dismantle their siege equipment. It is true enough that the catapult shot has not hit our position in some time, but the wider front has been brought to ruins by those very tools. You must now be my scout and my messenger. Learn what has become of their garrison, and if any of them are yet to live, deliver to them a message of hope. The Alliance marches upon the Black Gate, and no evil man or orc shall stand in the way of our victory over Sauron. Go, my friend, I shall ready the Alliance to advance upon the Morannon. Okay, so learn the fates of the spears of Lindon and their garrison. I'm going to go into F12s. I want to see just how this... Oh, what is that up there? I just want to see how this place looks. It is looking amazing. A little bit laggy, because everything's loading in. And there's a lot of particles and smoke and the like carrying around here. Yep. Is that an enemy? It is. I'm going to have to get out of F12, but we are going to... He has got 11,000 health, but what does this do? Oh, that's not actually that bad. I was like, oh, we're going to do only like, you know, 100 damage because of our skill or whatever, but no, he does actually do an incredible amount of damage. 48,000? I wish I could do that with my elf hunter. Alright, we need to make our way through here, killing these guys. We're not a blue line at the moment because we don't have any traits at the moment as far as I'm aware, so we actually can't... Yeah, J does not work, so we cannot actually do anything in that regard. So we do have to stand still as though we were red line. Because kind of officially we're only technically like level 1. Getting a little bit fuzzy rather. Swiftly now, this way. Let us go. Whoa, it's definitely, yeah, quite laggy. The spears of Lindon have held against Sauron's forces, but they fight in a desperate battle against these guys. Right, either way, let's go talk to these 3 or 2. I think only 2 left. Hail, Tarvelad! I am Megaril of Linden. How fare the battles to the north? You tell Megaril of your encounter with the Gwitharian and deliver High King Gilgalad's message. If we shall truly strike the Black Hand to this day, the Alliance must soon come hither. We did as the High King commanded and brought the enemy's weapons to ruin, but when the Gwitharian appeared, they slew many of our number and divided our forces upon the Dagorlad. The faces by which I once knew the Gwitharian when they first took the rings have long faded, but this one I knew by his blade. The Cursed Rider he is called, and he goaded his steed onward over the backs of elf, man, and orc alike. Regrettably, we were forced into retreat before we could aid many of them from the field of battle. We now struggle to hold the only path over the great trenches, and the enemy's forces have brought forth more trebuchets and ballista upon the Dagorlad. Aid the wounded in the field, and let us hope that the Alliance shall arrive to drive off the enemy's forces. Let's go talk to you now. This first bit is going to be, speak quickly, friend, as our foes surge from the east. We know that bit already. The Gwitharian, 2 of their number passed through our garrison from the north. One rode westward and scattered our numbers, but the other, he took Celeborn. In the midst of battle, he caught Celeborn's sword arm in a cruel coil of rope and dragged him eastward by his fell steed. I could not follow through the masses of orcs. I failed him. I failed the High King, but still I must fight on. Rescue wounded soldiers from the orcs west of the forward garrison. Which way? This way. I assume. Let's, yeah, be doing some damage. It's very frustrating having not a lot of attacks, I've noticed. Even when your attacks do so much damage, not having a lot of them is definitely a pain. You're kind of safe now, aren't you? Can you be safe? Or is it the other way? I don't know. Right, we'll have to... From the orcs west. No, okay, so... Okay, it is west. It's this way. I just saw a guy and was like, oh, that'll be, like, you know... a thing. Now, let's... get you. Rightio. You're sorted. Wounded soldiers. And we'll take you out. 6 in total, correct? Yes. See if I can get you, because you're on your own. 1 enemy rather than 2. So then I can do penetrating shot on you and basically just have 1 attack here. I think the issue here is we're getting 0 XP out of any of this. We're still level 1. Even with our VIP XP, I think it's just basically going to be thrown to waste, really. So they should be second to last. That's fine. And then, yeah, these should be fine. Like this should be our final one. Oh, thought I had enough focus. Apparently not. Guess I'm not attacking enough. I didn't exactly save you, really. Lives, but the rider has him. We're over in this direction. The Cursed Rider. 9 million health. Nearly 10 million health. There is no escape for you. See you now the fate of those who defy my master. The Dark Lord holds no power over me, Wraith. Be my fate sealed or not, my arrow shall fly true. Fools! Wills can be broken. Thranduil of Greenwood and his blade shall see to that. Oh my god, massive spiders. The accursed spawn of the Ungwetari. You think you threatened me? Sauron shall not forgive her this time. Stay back. I will leave you in peace for what you have done. Not so much. Ah, Glorfindel. Hello. How nice of you to be here. Nearly 7 million, not 7 million, 700,000 info. Which is nearly-ish a million. I think this might be the highest level, highest health enemy I've ever killed at level 1. I think technically ever. I don't think I've really gone against many that are, many enemies that are high health. High health, rather. Like over at 200k, I think. I'm still taking quite a beating. I should probably stay away, I'm an archer. You've rescued Thranduil from the Cursed Rider and impelled the swarm of that name. Reunite the Alliance and the forward garrison. The prince is fortunate to have survived his father's attack on the Black Gate, but the Gutherian word troubled me. The rider spoke the name of Quenya ere he departed. Ungwetari, the Spider King. Ungoliant is gone from this realm and shall trouble the world no longer, but her children remain, preying on anything they can devour and spreading her darkness throughout Middle-earth. One among them must now hunger as she did, without the care for the powers of the Dark Lord, and without any purpose other than to consume. These unhappy tidings, my friend, even if it seems fortuitous that the great spiders turned upon the rider, if we do not face this child of Ungoliant in the war, it is certain that a day will come where her hunger shall speak to sate itself upon the shadows of Mordor. The High King gave me leave to pursue you at the urging of the Spears of Linden, but he called for your return at once. The Alliance has come for the forward garrison at last. Reunite with them there, Tarvalad, and make ready for our assault on the Black Gate. So we need to return to the garrison. Glorfindel and I shall tend to the prince's wounds. Now go. Elrond spoke true. The High King and Eladil have come at last. That's a lot of people. A lot of lag as well. Right. I'm glad to see you again, Tarvalad. Durnaith and Morrigal have told me of Theleron's capture, and I'm troubled by such grim tidings. The Dark Lord would not have soon forgotten the wounds he suffered at our hands, and I fear from what form his vengeance might take, even now as I wish to abandon my duty. I cannot turn my eyes from the Black Gate at such a crucial hour. Thus I give you your mission of dire importance. You must find Theleron, and you must save him from the Gutherian. As for the Alliance, one of Durin's folk has devised a cunning plan to draw the attention of the Dark Lord's forces and allow for a swift strike against the Black Gate. In truth, I know not its plan, not if its plan shall bear fruit, but we must conquer the gate if Sauron is to be defeated. I would ask that you speak to Slegar the Crafty. He is an honorable enough dwarf, despite his chosen title. Once you have done what he asks, pursue the Gutherian and rescue Theleron. Our paths are now divided, my friends, but let us hope each of them lead to the victory. May the light of the Valar shine upon us. Slegar, I thought I was going to have to talk to you because you had a title. At your service, Tarvalad, or perhaps you are at mine. Have you considered how the enemy's trenches never seem to stop burning? Well, I have. Slegar gestures to the pile of barrels beside him. These barrels are filled with a crude black oil that explodes when exposed to flame. Not only that, but it burns for hours afterwards. If it were more useful in stonework, I think Durin himself would have us steal some away. The Dark Lord's Black Riders, the damned Ringwraiths as the men call them, are wily enough, but these goblins are none too bright. They've left the barrels right next to their own ballista and catapults. Why don't you set some of them off? That ought to put an end to their siege and draw their attention long enough for the Alliance to reach the Black Gate. Just make sure you don't stick them around once you light them. Set the enemy barrel of black powder aflame. What about this set? There is another quest, apparently. On the... That's weird. Yeah, hiking. Why have you got a thing there? Either way, we have to go this way now. So I was going eventually the right way, just at the wrong time. So yeah, we have to go find these barrels, which are over here, and you can see them. And I guess we have to take these guys out. Unless, do we hit the barrel with... I wonder if we can do this. What if you're just gonna get hit? Damn it! Didn't work. These guys shouldn't be too bad. Oh, alright, I say that as I get a 20k health guy, but the others are only 10k, which is like, if I'm lucky, is roughly about what a quick shot will do if they don't block anything. Like, that guy blocked everything of that shot. So yeah, we need to... is that guy... No, he's not on me, but let's take him out. So yeah, we need to find these barrels. Delete will help us with that if we really need to. So that's actually quite good. And a majority of them... Well, oh, okay, it's 8. I was going to say, I think we might be able to get around here and, you know, do all of them just on these catapults, but it's the ballistas also need work on them as well. So we'll actually do the front line, I think, first, and then we'll loop back around and do this stuff afterwards. I think that actually works out. That was, I didn't walk away too far from the, far enough away from that, as I should have. Is there anything over there? It doesn't look like it, so we're gonna have to start going back here. Yeah, he told me to go away from when I light them, which is, you know, makes sense, but I didn't actually do that thing. I don't think it would have killed me, but at the same time, if they really wanted to, they could make it inflict damage. But again, whether or not that would take me down 35k health is a different story entirely. Right, you will be our next target, because it looks like it kind of zigzags a little bit. If I could only speak today, that would be very nice. And we should really be able to get past without these guys paying attention to us, which means we can just go straight to that catapult and be done with this. If we go over here, they probably want aggro, which is fine. Only one enemy here. Probably even try and get here without aggroing him. Nope, failed. But we can still quite easily... Oh no, we got interrupted. We didn't get interrupted the first time we did that, so I'm not sure what changed this time, but... Let's go. Either way. Run away. Find and follow this path. Do we actually have to physically... Okay, it doesn't actually look like we have to individually click on every single one of them, it's just follow them. Which is a lot easier than, you know, having to individually do each one. These hoofprint. Oh no, they're okay. I thought it had like ended and it was going to be a case of us having to update the quest or something, but no, apparently not. It is just a case of go straight the direction. Oh, it's an elf here. Dagorlad, can it be? Follow me, Lady Hathalion shall want to speak with you. I butchered that name probably. Hathalin. Not too bad. You have not found Celeborn or the Gwytherian, but a familiar elf stands beside you. Or stands before you. Lady Hathalin, Dagorlad has come across the battle plane. Hello, Dagorlad, I am gladdened by this reunion, but it is little else to celebrate. The High King sent me and my company eastward to learn what had become of the Elves of Lorien, but alas, only Prince Amroth remains upon the field. His father and the others were routed to the north, but where they have gone we cannot follow. The prince is injured, but he will heal over time. I must ask though, why have you come? You tell Hathalin of the task given to you by the High King himself, and of Celeborn, the lost spear of Linden taken by one of the Gwytherian. Your tale troubles me, for Amroth spoke of the terrible figures that pass with an elf slung upon his steed. Time may grow short for Celeborn, my friend. I think it is time we learned more of what this prince saw. Learn of Celeborn's fate from the Prince Amroth. Prince Amroth, can you tell my companion what about the rider you saw? As much as I do not wish to recall him, I can. From what you have told me, he was one of the 9 Gutherian, garbed in black and seated upon a great steed. I know not if he still lived, but an elf was slumped limply across Gutherian's steed. He lifted aloft a great mace, which was a crack of thunder, and with a crack of thunder his master's statue was toppled. And then he looked upon me, and what remained beneath his hood sniffed madly in the air. There was a sorcery in his glare, I tell you, for his eyes were the flames in a void. Perhaps he thought me slain, as then he rode on into the hills. No, it cannot be. It can be no other, Hithgol. The Witch-king has taken Celeborn. Be wary, the men of the east who slew my father have an encampment in the hills, and it is there he must have gone. Thank you, Prince Amroth. If the men of the east hold the hillside, then we must go by secret steps. True. Okay, let's go. When my company came to Prince Amroth's aid, I heard a giant cry and a thunder like flapping wings from above. It sounded like something terrible, like some terrible flying creature as great in size as the eagles. I couldn't espy it through the smoke, but I am certain it lurked beyond my sight. I do not know if this creature is a servant of Sauron's, but his presence makes me fear all the more for Celeborn. If the Witch-king has taken him to the Overlook, we must pass through the Easterlings' encampment ahead. The men of the East have grown arrogant behind Sauron's might, and they may have left a small passage in their encampment open to the woodlands. Follow me, and we shall sneak in to avoid the dangers of the approaching their gate upon the road. Let's follow then. I just realized, like, how much health he has. Damn. 1 million, pretty much. And quite quickly from the fields of battle to trees. Trees galore. Not that I'm going to complain about that fact. Oh. I just ran straight into it. We must move quietly, Dagorlad. It is not far now. Hold, their sentry seems on the edge of sleep. I pretty much just ran straight into him. Oh. And the other guys didn't even see it. Face your doom, men of the east. 42k health. Should be easy-ish. She can do a majority of it. I'll be fine. Or he, I don't know, I wasn't paying attention. She. Okay. Pretty sure we got it later anyway, so that's fine. Whatever, I worked it out. Hathalan makes ready to repel the Eastlings. You must press on. Are you guys gonna be enemies for me? I'm gonna sneak. I'm a sneaky. Ow, that didn't work out. I was gonna say I'm a sneaky elf, but I really, yeah, it didn't pan out that way. Let's try again. Being a sneaky elf. The Witch-king's steed trashes mildly as you approach. He and Celeborn must be nearby. Can I just take care of... Can I just kill his horse? I'm not, like, a guy who wants to kill horses a lot, but if I kill, like, the Witch-king's horse, is that not a good thing? Or, like, release it. I accept it's probably really loyal, so probably if I just kill it, I should be okay. And then he can't escape. How about that? It's very red. Right, confront the Witch-king and rescue Celeborn. This is the most, by the way, most intense introduction. Remember, this is the introduction. Unless they change this and this is just like a demo of how this works. But at the same point, why would they not give you some decent gear, to be fair? Yeah, this is just the introduction, which I'm pretty sure it just is, to the High Elves. It takes a lot longer than, like, any of the others, but I'm willing to, you know, to do it. I'm happy to do it again. The Witch-king. 19,621,708 health, morale, and 429 rather, power. I'm gonna confront him in my nothing gear. How am I just not dead? I've got no armor. Like, there's no way I'm not doing anything. Like, not failing in that regard. This would make an incredible thumbnail. So much that I might actually try and make one. The sky's just changed. I'm not sure what that was. You come too late, servant of Galahad. Like, look at that! Look at that! Your fear has left you defenseless, and the elf has been borne away by the winged beasts of my master. The Elf King will never see him again, for he shall suffer evermore in the dungeons of Barad-dûr. But you, Tarvelad, you shall be changed, and you will return to Gil-galad as his greatest foe. Such is the will of Sauron. Ow. Suffer now and rise anew into the realm of the unseen. Okay. Let's see where this puts us then. I am in the Troll Shores in Rivendell. I'm in bed. Tham Send, the Hall of Rest. I'm gonna... Oh, I have a quest. Mumble at Harathian. So I gotta do that and then do that. I'm now level 1 again. Just putting this out. I need to mumble at him again. Oh wait. Rest until your wound is healed. This, like, pushing in and out is really frustrating. Lord Elrond, Tarvelad has awoken at last. Rest easy, my friend. You are safe from harm in Imladris. The wound has healed, but Tarvela remains in need of rest. Harthalin. Well, rest well, my friend. I shall return in... You have awoken at long last. Let's have a look. Let's, F12. Actually, what are we doing? Find Elrond in the last homely house. Right, well, at least we know what we're doing. This place looks nice. Very colourful. Nice change of colours and pace. I'm definitely happy with that. So yeah, these guys are also not exactly in the greatest of shape, I'm assuming. These guys, I mean, don't even have names. I found Elrond, though. Hello, Elrond. How are we? Let's talk. It brings me great joy to see you upon your feet once more, Tarvelad. After you fell, we attempted to heal you upon the battle plane. With the Witch-king of Angmar had dealt you a grievous injury, one unlike any dealt to our people before the hands of the Dark Lord. The decision was made to return you to Imladris, far from the lands of the enemy. You suffer for years in restless agony as my healers worked to free you of the evils that lingered in your wound. When the war was ended, I returned to aid them and learned much of healing the foul wounds of Morgul steel. When at last you could rest, you did so for many long years. Despite my efforts, your strength has diminished greatly, and it shall take a great time, but I believe you shall again know the power that lies within you. As for the task given to you by Gil-galad, do not consider it a failure, Tarvelad. None could have foreseen the enemy's malice in sending his Nazgul to seize Theleron. Tragically, he was never found, even after Barad-dûr itself was brought to ruin. It wounded Gil-galad greatly to lose both you in the war. To lose you both in the war, and it was said that his light was dimmed throughout all the battles that followed. Even so, he did not falter before the enemy. No, you did not fall in vain, my friend. Our victory on the battle plain that day bore fruit indeed. Sauron resisted our assaults for 7 years in the Dark Tower, but in the end he was cast down by Gil-galad and Eladin. Eldil's son Isildur cut the ring from Sauron's finger, destroying the Dark Lord and banishing him from his realm. Alas, there is more to be said on these matters. Let's walk with you. Walk with me, Dagorlad. Let's go. Let's talk. You remember the war as if it were yesterday, do you not? A few minutes ago, actually. You are one of the few that remain in this realm that can recall it as I do, my friend. I come here often to reflect on the sacrifices we made in that war. Indeed, Gil-galad and Elendil defeated the Dark Lord, but they did so at the cost of their own lives. The realms of elves and men were thus forever changed, and the world passed into the Third Age. And so it has been for many years now. I do not wish to alarm you, Dagorlad, but it is now the 3080th year. 3018th year of the Third Age. Even if much else has changed, Imladris is as you remember it. You have borne many burdens in your time, my friend, and so I have give you leave to depart to the havens, if you wish it. There is another here who has sustained a terrible wound in the war. Hithgol is his name. I saw him just a minute ago. Since chance has woken you today, perhaps he too is healed of the enemy's wounds. See if he is awoken from his long rest, and then we shall speak more of your journey to the havens. Let us go. Talk to him then. Despite appearing outwardly healed, Hithgol seems to be in a deep, uneasy slumber. His strength is returning, but he remains in restless slumber. A few months more, I think. Let's return to Aaron? Yeah. Let's return to you, and I think this actually will be the end of it. Reclaim your armor, reclaim your ring, collect Elrond's writings. So, it is unfortunate to hear of Hithgol's continued ills, but I hold hope he shall soon recover as you have, Dagorlad. You see, when the battle came at last to Barad-dûr, Sauron himself felled Hithgol with a deadly blow. And it seemed only by the grace of the Valar that he did not at once end. He was not at once ended. Even still, the steel of a Dark Lord's weapons has tainted in much the same way as the blade that pierced you, and he has suffered its effect as you did for many long years. Now then, we have spoken enough of the past, let us turn our minds to the day ahead. Much has changed since we last travelled together from Imladris, my friend. It seems now an age of man. An age of men. I sense the time of the elves in Middle-earth draws nearer to its end. Indeed, many have departed this realm for the uttermost west by ship of Círdan, our friend of old. He is now called the Shipwright by those who know his works, and he dwells in Mithlond with the few that still remain in his service as skilled crafters. Much of the wood used by Círdan is ferried to Mithlond by the way of the port of Celandim along the arid Luin, and it is there you must journey to reach the havens. Dagorlad, I have gathered your belongings and a few supplies for your journey. I have set your ring in its case upon the table across the room, and your armor rests in the chest at your bedside. It is still marked from battle, but time has not worn it elsewise. Indeed, the passing of an age has dimmed only our light, and given rise the shadow in the east Concerning such matters, I have also prepared you a tome of writing of the history of the Third Age. Thus, there you are free to claim them where you depart. Once you are prepared, we shall speak more of your journey to Sauron. So we get a ring, quite a ring. I mean, it's not scaled at least. Elrond's gift, which I guess is just like the gift of the journeyman sort of stuff. These time-worn armor, some lesser aetherless essences, fried mushrooms, some other rings to wear, some dyes, novice, and we can choose a axe or a dagger. We'll accept, and we have to go with our stuff. So the writings are here. Elrond has assembled a collection of writings for you concerning the events of the Third Age. The jeweler's case is going to be my ring. Within the ornate box, your eye catches the glimmer of the ring you once bore, and this chest with my armor in it. As you glance within, the faint shine of your old armor catches the light. Elrond, let's talk. I'm going to take a honed dagger. No, this is new stuff. Very good, Dagorlad. In time, your strength will return, my friend, and the power of your ring shall rise with it. I hope my writings prove to be of use to you as well. I recount much of the time that passed while your wounds healed, and even I cannot be aware of all that transpired since the end of the Second Age. As for your journey, my sons shall see you in Salandim in the course of their own travels. Eladan and Elrahir are to follow an expedition to the ruins of Edhelion, led by the elf Dagorlad on my behalf. Speak not of this to any outside of their company, but I had a strange premonition, and in it, amidst the field of blurred visions, a voice rose, saying, blood-red footsteps upon snow-coloured black, where the Dour King walked to take back his throne and finish what was begun. It's a troubling riddle, my friend, and one that I do not think soon solved. Have you any thoughts on its meaning? You hear a muffled creak as the doors of Tham Send open. Ah, it is just as well. Such travels are best left to Dagorlad and his expedition. My son awaits by the door of the central courtyard, and when you are ready to depart, they shall guide you to Salandim along the arid Luin. May your journey be swift and free of hardship, my friends. So yeah, we have all this armor stuff, honed dagger, and 71 experience. Oh, nice. And we got novice, which means we can now actually have the writing skill, which means we can have this, which is nice, and we can actually have a look at, before we go, we can have a quick look at this armor. So we actually have to be level 2 for this stuff. So apparently he said this ring will level with us or something. I don't know if that's actually what it means, but it seemed as though it was saying something sort of close to that. Why have I not got any? Oh, it doesn't actually show it for some reason. Huh, interesting. There's a different sword. Yeah, it doesn't actually show. It's a cloak, time-worn cloak, and a hooded version. They both do the same, I'm assuming. Same type, +2 vitality. Yeah, maybe we don't see it until after. Or maybe it's just not actually got a model yet. Either way, let's go talk to Elrahir. So Father has at last given you leave to travel from Imladris, Dagorlad. I must say I'm excited to learn more of the Battle of the Ages passed from you. Father told us not to bother you with so many questions, but this is likely our last chance, is it not? I'm certain Father has told you all about the journey ahead, but do not worry, the matter of his dream need not trouble you. Besides, the journey to Mithlond shall give us time enough to speak to other matters. On other matters, I would think the events of the past 3,000 years would be of some interest to you. My brother and I stand ready to set out for Ered Luin. If you are prepared, we shall depart at once. Let's go. I think everything else is done here.
The old refuge of Ithilien lies abandoned, a ruined testament to the greed of Skorgrim Dourhand. 600 years after its fall, dwarves inhabit the ancient halls in the mountains, and Elrond of Rivendell, sensing a threat, has sent his sons Elrohir and Eladan along with a company of elves to investigate.
Okay, so we're now in Eredluin. I can't say if I'm entirely sure if that was a different, like a new movie thing. It seemingly got a few other people here. I don't know if you're a High Elf. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, High Elf. I think a lot of people here are going to be High Elf. High Elf, yep, High Elf Captain, High Elf Lordmaster, High Elf. Oh, look. Oh, actually, no. All our stuff is still not showing. That kind of sucks. We also been thrown up to level 5, I've just noticed. And we got the Wary. We got the set trap skill. We've also got that, which will go up somewhere up there. We'll work it all out later. And yeah, it looks like everything else just kind of transitions back into a behest of Carnivore and similar stuff. So if Summer Festival has started, I've actually not done any of the Summer Festival yet. I should get onto that. We can finish that, get a little bit of XP. But yeah, we have seemingly, we have armor on, but it doesn't actually show. So I'm not sure how that goes, but I'm actually going to maybe just play around with this a little bit maybe in the future, just maybe on my own, or maybe I'll stream it if I have the time. But for now, I think what I'm actually going to do is end off for now. What I'm actually going to do, I just realized we do have a steed that we can have, so I'm just going to throw on this steed quickly. But yeah, basically, yeah, this is obviously the introduction to High Elf. Everything's still loading in, so it's a little bit laggy, as usual. So basically what seemingly happened is we were part of the Second Age. We were in a battle against Sauron and all that stuff. Obviously that just happened. We were stabbed by the Witch-king, which meant that we were basically in like a coma type thing for years, it seems. And now it's the Third Age. I think it's 3018 years into the Third Age. And we are now awake again. So that's actually kind of a nice fitting thing. It took like, I think that's the longest introduction from what I know, because the Bjorning one takes about, if on a quick, admittedly I was reading everything out and not skipping everything, and it was the first time, but that might actually be the longest because Bjorning's super quick. It's like 10-15 minutes. And then Man is like, Man and sort of Elf and that lot are just sort of like 20-25 minutes as well, from what I remember. So yeah, this might actually just be the longest one. But it's definitely kind of a more epic feeling quest. So yeah, definitely interested in that. And the reason I mentioned at the beginning, or I should have mentioned at the beginning, if I didn't, I'm mentioning it now at least, that I was very interested in High Elf because of a specific thing. And that is because I want to know from the people that, well, if you're watching this, you probably watch the Lotro videos that I otherwise do, and if you don't, either have a look at them and give me your opinion, but I want to know if when these are properly released, if you guys want to maybe see me either make a new character and have like a season 2 with a High Elf, or if you want me to have two different characters concurrently, so have a High Elf and have a you know, have my normal elf hunter and have a High Elf something else, and see how that works. Or, you know, if you don't want to see it at all, tell me, because I actually would be interested. Again, lag, what are you doing to me? I would actually definitely be interested in, you know, doing this whole thing and having a High Elf series. I think that would be cool, especially if it's being released. I wanted to do that when Bjorning was originally released. Didn't have enough turbine points at the time, but now Lotro points to originally do it, so I didn't have the ability to, but now I would have the ability to do this. I think you actually do have to buy, you might have to buy with Lotro points the High Elf. I'm not sure. I saw one video where someone, like, quickly, where it had like a Lotro point symbol next to it, but I'm not sure if that's too respective of what it will eventually be. But yeah, either way, tell me your thoughts on that. I definitely will probably be making one of my like self, like as an actual character when it comes around to it. I might even delete one of my like champion that I've currently got and maybe redo it as a High Elf. I think that'll be cool. Because he's actually not got that far, and I think that will look quite good. But yeah, give me your opinions. Tell me what you think of the High Elf introduction as a whole. I apologize for butchering words. Happens a lot. Also, I was bad at talking quite a lot for a long amount of time, saying a lot of different words. So I apologize for that, but I did try my best to do it. I think it was quite good. So yeah, tell me your thoughts on the introduction, High Elf as a whole. That instance just looked amazing, by the way, just saying. A bit laggy, but I think that's might get fixed. or it could just be my computer throwing a fit as usual. And yeah, tell me about what I just said, whether or not you want to see a High Elf replace my current character that I'm doing stuff on, do like a Season 2, or if you want to not see it, or if you want me to do 2 at the same time instead. I think the game's lagged out. That's how nice it is. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it as this. So tell me what you think, and I'll see you in the next video, where I might do something else on Bullroarer, I might do something else otherwise. But thanks for watching either way, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.